Hello, my name is Richard. I am service manager and one of the owners of LR Environmental. I personally do the final checkouts of the chambers after they come back from paint, and now I'm here to take you through the refurbishment process. Once we pull a chamber in, we remove our back panel here and get into the insulated compartment where our solenoid valves are and such. We will inspect the insulation to make sure that the insulation is dry and clean. We don't have any moisture or anything that had been collected in there. If there was moisture or anything like that, we would end up pulling out the old insulation and replenishing it with new, find where the moisture would have come from first, and then of course replenish it with new. During our refurbishing process, solenoid valves are changed to rapid cycle valves that can have longer life expectancy. In addition to filter dryers during our changeover of our refrigerants. Some of the finer details that we do is we ensure that all our capillary tubes and lines are not rubbing to prevent rubbing or leaks in the future from vibration and such. So all that stuff is just kind of just the little details that are done to ensure longevity of a unit. Thermal expansion valves are inspected for rust or excess of rust or even wear and tear. So those are changed as needed. Then from that point there, we will go ahead and we will do our refurbishing of our compressors. When we pull the old compressors out, we will dump out the oil. We will check the oil and make sure that everything looks clean. We'll check our windings for resistivity and for shorting or ground to make sure all our components are good. From that point there, we'll replenish it with the proper oil for the new refrigerants, reinstall the compressors, blow out the system of any old oil that's in there, replace oil filters, which are located back here, and replenish that with proper oil. Then from that point there, we will go ahead and we will nitrogen charge it to check for leaks and make sure that there are no leaks. Once we're sure of that, we'll evacuate the system. Once the system has been evacuated down to and holding down to below 200 microns, then we will go ahead and charge up with the proper and new refrigerants. And at that point, our system is ready for running on the refrigeration side of the system. In addition, we have added high pressure cutout switches to protect the compressor. As you can see, we go ahead and make sure everything is tight in here to prevent any kind of rubbing that may be done. In some cases, sometimes repiping is needed, and that's what we'll have to do to repipe and to make everything look clean and no problems in the future. Some of these systems are sealed and you can't see what's in there, so we actually physically remove them to clean them out. We will put them into an ultrasonic cleaner. We will check the humidifying boiler element to ensure that that is clean and good. It's replaced as needed, and then all your lines are cleaned for your water lines going to the boiler, and then it's reinstalled, re-insulated, and put back into the chamber. The condensing unit is completely blown out and cleaned out with condensing cleaner to make sure that there is no dust or anything, and your fins are completely clear. Your condenser fan motors are checked for proper operation and replaced as needed. On humidity chambers, there are some options that may be installed. One option is a demineralizing cartridge to have clean water going in and feeding into your boiler. Another option is to have a closed-loop self-contained water system, which allows demineralized water into a supply tank, feeding water to your boiler. The condensation from the chamber of your humidity will feed into a condensate pump back through your demineralizing cartridge to clean out any impurities, come back into your supply tank, and closed-loop system. This will minimize water usage. Another final detail is when fans are exposed in the back, we install fan guards here to prevent damage to the fans. When chambers are moved around, it's very easy to bang fans against walls, and that's just one of the extra things that we make sure is on chambers that have protruding fans in the back of the chamber. During our refurbishment process, we're also going to remove the inside panel, and we're looking at things like the heating element, the evaporator coil, the dehumidifier coil, your recirculating fans. What we're looking for here is we're looking for any kind of droopage of the heating element, any broken wires. We're looking for erosion of the fins. If any of these things have happened to this chamber, where the fins, for example, have started to erode away, the evaporator coil needs to be replaced and is done. The same thing with the heating element. If there's any droopage of the wire, the elements are changed. We're also looking at our fan blades to make sure we're not getting excess of rust or anything like that on the fan blades. Those are also changed. The motors, when they're running, we're checking for vibration, we're checking for noise, bearing noise. In this case here, we'll replace as needed if any of those things are happening. One of the other things is we, on humidity chambers, we automatically change to new sensors. We use a Rotronics electronic sensor on all humidity chambers. We're checking our thermocouples. This is an example of a control retrofit that we do. We use the Watlow Series F4. It's a 2-channel controller on temperature humidity chambers. This particular controller has the capability of programming 40 different profiles with a total combined of 256 steps. All the chambers have a high-low limit control which will protect the chamber in the event of a thermal runaway. One thing to note, though, that this particular controller will protect the chamber but not protect live load testing. If your product in there is a live load product and it does go to thermal runaway, your product may have a tendency to have to be still powered and heat up the chamber. We do offer an option to incorporate this controller to turn off your product load, which needs to be known to us at the time of your order. This is an example of the wiring of our chambers here once the controllers are installed. All the controls have wire numbers throughout the system. A wiring schematic is also supplied with the chamber. In addition, relays, contactors are all replaced as needed. Chambers with viewing windows the windows are changed as needed. When windows get fogged up or they're broken, the window will automatically be changed here. Now we're going to open the door, and what we want to see here is we're looking for any tears or breaks in the gaskets, if anything like that the gaskets are pliable. If in fact any of that is wrong, we will go ahead and we replace the door gaskets. I hope in showing you this video that you realize the fine details that are included in refurbishing a chamber. Our goal is to gain your utmost confidence in the piece of equipment that you're purchasing, and it is of the highest quality, it is reliable, and it is a piece of equipment that you can rely on for many years.